for the Union Shipping Trucks Challenge final. They're to do 20 minutes of racing, and it'll be furious, and I reckon that man Ahrenfeld in 41 will have brake problem, but I reckon a few other people will too. Kevin Freestone is out. He has engine trouble in the Black Mobile Kenworth, and Joe Scarcella has not done a racing lap after blowing an engine in Friday practice, after replacing it with a $4,000 unit from a wrecker, that having a split bore. They've had cranes and forklifts in, under and around that Kenworth all weekend, but as I say, they haven't done a racing lap, which is really sad. So the 15 that remain are out on the track now, and it is Rodney Crick in 7 in the Volvo against the New Zealand, not the champion, but the man, the winner of the Caltex Prix there in March, and that's Robin Porter. He's in the Kenworth. In 41 is Arnold Ahrenfeld, and Albert Cedars is beside him in the MAN number 6. On the third row is in 54 Charles Gaffiro, and beside him is Bill Cedars, and then we have Brian Noonan in the Scania 42. The R600 Mac, as they start to break now, 13 is Ken McDonald. That's another R600 Mac. And then is 31. We also have Hewitt, and the Diamond T, number 69, Amoroso, and Glover. As they get a green now, Glover in the Fort Louisville 101. But everything's in there. There's only one Japanese truck in this field of American and European trucks. And as you can see, it is madness. And Rodney Crick, the former Carter and Speedway star, is the man leading the entire field, and Arnold Ahrenfeld back there in third place is wondering what he's got to do to keep the big red double turbocharger Kenworth from overheating and perhaps setting fire to its brakes. So, Stephen James, it will be a very hard 20 minutes indeed for these intrepid pilots.
Yeah, I think the person who will eventually win is the one who goes out reasonably slowly. The trouble is the trick is not to go too slowly.
Yes, it's a very delicate balance, and we can see Crick being a bit hard pressed right now by Porter, the New Zealander in the Kenworth. Not far behind is Ahrenfeld, and indeed Albert Cedars in 6. That's the leading bunch. Bit of a gap back to Gaffiro in 54, Bill Cedars in 3, and Noonan in the Scania 42. The 2 AAA truck repairs Max, and then 53 Charles Gaffiro, the International Lodestar 1968. But this is the action at the front of the field. It's late in the day, it's starting to get cold, which won't be a bad thing at all for Arnold Ahrenfeld. There's the Diamond T, Justo Diamond Rio appearing very briefly, but the Volvo appears more regularly up at the front of the field. Crick in number 7. 5th place in 54 is Gaffiro. That's Frank Gaffiro. Charles Gaffiro is in the International Lodestar number 53. But Rodney Crick's the man doing the trick.
Oh, Porter's
in the Volvo number 7.
Porter's trying very hard.
And is 1.5 seconds behind. Ahrenfeld's a fraction further back in 3rd place in 41, the red Kenworth. And Albert Cedars is in 4th place behind him. Black smoke building up around the circuit. There's the Diamond Rio, number 69, Frank Amoroso. He's being hard pressed by Glover in the Louisville. The Isuzu, number 11, and then finally the 1418 Benz, number 9, from Glen Transmissions, Dennis Geyer. This is the other end of the field, the end where everybody wants to be after just 3 minutes of racing. 1st place Crick, 2nd place Porter, 3rd place Ahrenfeld, and sliding off is Charlie Gaffiro. Gaffiro, the International Lodestar, 5.2 litres only, and a very old truck indeed, some 23 years old. Number 7 that has that rash of Volvo factory apprentices going round and using it as a learning exercise all through the year. The Allison automatics working well. He's built his lead now over Porter from New Zealand to 2.3 seconds. Albert Cedars is fourth and he's in truck number 6. The man's Stephen James seem to have good brakes, and do you think they might come good towards the end of this punishing 20 minutes?
They have a reputation of that. In New Zealand, they were towards the latter part of the longer races. They were able to outbrake some of the more sophisticated trucks, so I expect them to do very well.
Storming up the hill, smaller engines than a lot of their rivals. Albert Cedars, for instance, he has 12 litres, you know, really down on power and capacity, the poor man. Positively handicapped. There's Porter, second place. Third place, Ahrenfeld. Fourth place, Albert Cedars. And look at them, bit of a gap forward to this man, 7, Rodney Crick. Down the end of the straight, the most hard work component in 41 is the front brakes.
Actually, it's the best Arnold's done all week. I've seen him the way he's running at the moment. It's surprising. They might have done something to the brakes, found the problem.
Well, the sun has literally set. It's behind the hillside, and temperature drop here is drastic after that. So that can't hurt. They've got water cooling in there, but that is like running a fan against a tornado by comparison with the work that Ahrenfeld is asking the front drums to do on that bright red. Kenworth looking for its way through on the inside of Porter, and he had to take to the dirt, bumping his way off the infield as he rejoins the track. And Albert Cedars starting to come down the inside. Wasn't quite close enough. See, though, if Albert Cedars has got a better run onto the straight, he has, he's going faster. He's making ground on Ahrenfeld, but then Ahrenfeld starts to get the twin-turbo Cummins going.
Here's the brakes
on the Kenworth, and he'll be forced to use his brakes hard, and that's what Albert Cedars would say. That's all right, if I'm tucked in behind him, I'll make him use them really hard. I'll give him no mercy. 6 minutes of racing have passed.
If you can do this for 2 or 3 laps, he's going to force Arnie to use his brakes too quickly.
They've covered 5 laps, they've been racing for 6 minutes, they have 20 minutes to do. And Rodney Crick is conducting the orchestra at the moment. Orchestra mainly made up of bass drums, there's not many violins in here. Storming up the hill, absolutely running as if he's on level ground. Be good truck up the Moonbees. Robin Porter from New Zealand, and Ahrenfeld's broken away a little bit from Albert Cedars. Closer to Porter. But with his brake problem, a difficult tactical problem for Ahrenfeld. Down the end you can see the gap from first place, which on a stopwatch measures out at some 4 seconds. Doesn't amount to very much actually at the end of 6 laps and just over 7 minutes of racing. There they go, 2nd, 3rd and 4th place.
I think Ahrenfeld's going to get Porter. He's sitting better through that top corner.
He's a very good racing driver, Arnold Ahrenfeld.
A lot of experience, Arnold.
Although he's a truckie, he combines the two, great knowledge of trucks, but on top of that, a great amount of experience, much more than most of these guys, as a race driver.
I think we put the hoodoo on him. Willie's brakes are starting to smoke now.
Won't worry him up here, although he does have to pull up a little bit at the top. And Crick is in among the tail enders. The Isuzu number 11 with Bert Winters at the wheel. Now life will really get tricky. There's not much sunlight. There's no direct sunlight. There's plenty of black smoke. And in other words, visibility is becoming pretty difficult. There's somebody not on the bitumen. But Crick breaking his way through. Porter has gone through. Ahrenfeld's gone through. Albert Cedars has lapped the Isuzu and the 1418 Benz number 9. That's Dennis Geyer. They're the first two trucks to be lapped. A little bit of progress to be made before they encounter any other tail enders. A little bit behind this pack, Albert Cedars' brother Bill is very busy up there at the top of that hill.
With the Cathero truck.
Yes, trying to get through on Frank Cathero. But it's a good battle, second, third and fourth that we're watching here. Kenworth everywhere, just like the highways.
That Lofty Richardson Volvo, Lofty is a great competitor. He really comes out here to make up the numbers and just have fun. If he's got someone to race at the rear of the pack, he's happy.
That's the blue truck number 10.
Yes. Oh, Bill Siders.
Sideways Siders. Great view there.
First time we saw them go up the hill, well, everybody in the pits, so everybody from truck racing was themselves awe-inspired. We didn't think trucks would go up that hill that quickly.
Well, as I say, it barely seems to slow them. It doesn't look as though they're there. Porter now under a lot of threat from Ahrenfeld. But he's not quite close enough. He wasn't down the inside. Just one lurking truck leg behind.
They are on fire.
Yeah, they're on fire. Have a look at the left front brakes on Ahrenfeld's truck. You can see, I could see flames, sparks, something coming out from the inside there. It'll be fearful the next lap round.
The linings are on fire, Will.
Yes, you can see it. In the left front there, actually on fire, burning.
Arnold's next stop at the bottom of the straight is going to be very interesting.
Oh dear. For everybody but Arnold.
Especially for Arnold.
Yeah, especially for him. He's got a big interest in it, hasn't he?
Very true.
He gets a bit of smoke out of them up at the top of the hill here. Arnold Ahrenfeld in third place, trying to find his way around Robin Porter at least. But down the bottom of the straight this time, how good is former Lotus Super 7 driver Arnold Ahrenfeld trying to stop 6 tons with brakes that are on fire.
He's not worrying him, he's still having a go. Both sets are on fire. Right, both fronts.
Press on.
That's a man with big heart, Will.
Got to get the load to Melbourne.
How would you like these people driving the truckers? Hauling the removalists, eh?
Oh dear. 12 1/4 minutes of racing. Mr. Ahrenfeld in third place in 41 is faced with trying to get to 20. Probably the only way to put the fire on is to put the brakes on, because at least then you put the drum up against the brake shoe, or the other way round, as we see the old Lodestar, wasn't it, being lapped there by...
Yes. I'd venture
Crick
that Arnold has used all his water, so there's nothing left to put the fire out with, but he's still having a go. Look at this.
If only the Diamond Rio 69, Frank Amoroso, knew that Ahrenfeld behind him might be wanting to lean on him to stop at the end of the straight.
It's not slowing him up. He's just as committed at the bottom of that straight.
Well, he's doing a great job. Funnily, the truck is still stopping, and his lap times seem unaffected.
Well, he doesn't have to worry about getting some heat into the brakes, Will.
Oh. And a very good manoeuvre by Bill Cedars in 3, who just found his way around Frank Cathero in 54, the white Kenworth.
That could have been very nasty.
Oh, sure could have. Now we're seeing 53, Charlie Cathero, the international Lodestar, being lapped by Ahrenfeld. He split things up a little bit here. Robin Porter's got away a little bit, I think. But whistling up to the top of the hill again with something like 60 pounds per square inch through the twin turbos on that Cummins engine. But still, not enough the combination of engine and brakes to catch this flying Volvo of Rodney Crick.
The two matching Macs are just having their own private little battle here.
They've covered 11 laps. They've done 14.25 minutes of racing. They're scheduled for 20. Albert Cedars, 6th, 4th place behind Ahrenfeld. Still not an enormous gap back from the race leader, Rodney Crick, to 2nd placed Robin Porter. 3rd placed Ahrenfeld, 41. 4th placed, number 6, Albert Cedars. Here they come, and Ahrenfeld's trying to make up that gap again and get to Porter. And he's a braver man than I am. And there's Glover in 101, the Ford Louisville.
He might know, Will. His pit crew might be game enough to tell him.
Well, that's true. Very thoughtful of him not to worry him.
Too many of the crowd have gone home, that's for sure.
Well, they'll be able to keep themselves warm later if they can get up close to the front wheels of that red Kenworth, number 41. This Volvo did 1.4 million kilometres before they converted it to truck racing. So it owes nobody anything.
It's a well-sorted truck, Will.
Yeah, it's a well-sorted. Certainly bedded in. You don't have to knock the rough bits off the pistons at this stage. 1.4 million kilometres. Not many cars have ever done that in the history of motoring. Not uncommon with big trucks. The technology in them, the durability, the long wearing is quite remarkable. 2nd and 3rd place behind them is still as hard fought now at 16 minutes of racing, 13 laps completed, as it was when they set off on lap 1. Ahrenfeld trying to get around the New Zealander Robert Porter, trying to get up underneath him as they come to the top of the hill. And hot brakes or no, Ahrenfeld doesn't care. He wants 2nd place. And I reckon he's being held up by Porter. I think Porter is starting to run into brake trouble.
You might be right, Will.
And the better, more experienced race driver, Ahrenfeld, I think just might be able to cope with the problem slightly better. Let's see down the end of the straight. Now the right brake's on fire. The left one has been for laps. And Crick says this is a lovely game and I'm enjoying it, I'm having a ball. And he's coming up to 17 minutes. He'll have 3 more laps. He's done 14. I think he'll have to do 3. It'll be close to 20 at the end of 2, but they'll send him out to do another one, I suspect.
And what a perfect way truck racing is to extend the technology and the knowledge base of the transport industry.
It is indeed, and I mean, imagine the work that's going into sorting out the brake lining problem that Arnold Ahrenfeld's having. Other trucks have had that on hills with real loads behind them.
Exactly right.
And had to hold themselves in gears. I mean, what you're seeing now is trucks accelerating down a hill up to a tight corner, where on the road, of course, they've got to keep it in a gear and hang on for ages and hold up a lot of the traffic. So, as you say, it is developing technology that perhaps will be able to translate to the trucking industry on the road. And that means benefits for everybody, road and car and truck users alike.
Well, it's well known and stated by Mercedes-Benz in Europe that there are forms of development that they do on their trucks that they cannot get any other way than by truck racing.
Crick comes round and completes, as we see, 2nd and 3rd place battle, Porter and Ahrenfeld. And so those 3, followed by Albert Cedars, 4th place, and the man, number 6, have completed 15 laps. They've been racing now for 18 minutes 25 seconds.
Porter has got rear brake troubles, and that's why Arnold is being able to harass him a fair bit.
Well, if he gets rear brake problem, and if he were to lock up a rear brake, Ahrenfeld's inside him, and he will go to 2nd place. A pile of punch from the twin-turbo Kenny has got him up into 2nd, but Porter says, no way, you're not good enough. And I'm coming back, and he got back.
That was a big down to argue, Will.
And it was indeed. And Albert Cedars back there in 4th place looks on and says, goodness me, they're serious. Storming away from them here is Rodney Crick. Coming round now, 19 minutes 10 seconds, 15 laps completed.
The last lap board is going out, I think. Yes, it is.
Last lap board, so 19 minutes 20 seconds. 20 seconds as Crick crossed the line. They have another lap remaining. Porter has a break on Ahrenfeld, and so I think he might just hold on to second place. Well, I'm damned if I know how the brakes on the red Kenworth are holding up. Come on, out of the way, Mac. Let Mr. Ahrenfeld through. He's lapping you. He's sideways. Hang on to it. And the Mac, number 13, I don't know where he should go to get out of the way, but he's let Albert Cedars through. And Arnold Ahrenfeld has been cheated in a sense of third place. Poor old Arnold, 49 years old, a great driver, gutsy performance, game performance here. And because of a lap truck getting in the way, number 13 of Ken McDonald, the R600 Mac, Albert Cedars got through in the man number 6 and has taken over third place, but nobody's got near this man all through the day. He won the 3x3 race, he won the earlier build-up races, and with one truck off the circuit there, he's going to win this one. The Union Shipping Trucks Challenge final, over 20 minutes of racing. It actually took them 20 minutes and 35 seconds. From New Zealand, number 12, Robin Porter took third place. Porter took second place. Albert Cedars in number 6 took third. Arnold Ahrenfeld in number 41 took fourth.